Hey boys and girls, last chapter of Alibaba here. Alright, so it says pick two and answer on the back. Why didn't Alibaba want to have a birthday party with his friends from school? So, Alibaba didn't want to have a birthday party with his friends from school because what did all the David Berensteins have in common? How were they all different? So all the David Berensteins had in common, all the David Berensteins had in common were, how were they all different? So then you would need to say, they, new sentence, they were all different because, why did Alibaba decide he might one day be David Berenstein again? Alibaba decided he might one day be David Berenstein again because what was Alibaba's favorite present? Why was that present his favorite? Alibaba's favorite present was blah, blah, blah. And then you can put because. So you can put it just both in the same question. Why was Alibaba's cake made to look like the Manhattan telephone book? Alibaba's cake was made to look like the Manhattan telephone book because. So these are questions that we can talk about on our Zoom, or you can talk with an adult about if they read the book with you. And this is optional, meaning you can do it if you want to. Create a birthday card for Alibaba. So if you want to do that, you can, and include it in your work. All right, get out chapter 7 and we'll finish reading. When Alibaba Berenstein was 8 years, 11 months, and 4 days old, his mother asked him how he wanted to celebrate his 9th birthday. He could take his friends to the bowling alley or to a movie, or he could have a roller skating party. None of these choices seemed very exciting to Alibaba. 2 boys in his class had already given bowling parties. Another had invited all the boys in the class to a movie, and a 3rd classmate was giving a roller skating party next week. Alibaba wanted to do something different. Do you remember when I counted all the David Berensteins in the telephone book? Mrs. Berenstein nodded. I'd like to meet them all, said David. I want to invite them here for my birthday. But you don't know them, his mother said, and they are not your age. I want to see what they are all like, said Alibaba. If I can invite them, then I don't want to have any party at all. That's a strange party to have, don't you think? A week later, when Alibaba was 8 years, 11 months, and 12 days old, his mother asked about his birthday again. I told you what I decided, said Alibaba. That night, Alibaba's parents talked about the David Berenstein party. Mr. Berenstein liked his son's idea. He thought the other David Berensteins might be curious to meet one another. So it was all agreed that Alibaba would have the party he wanted. The very next morning, which was Saturday, Alibaba and his father went to his father's office. Alibaba had written an invitation to the David Berensteins. Dear David Berenstein, I found your name in the Manhattan telephone book. My name is David Berenstein too. I want to meet all the David Berensteins in New York. I'm having a party on Friday, May 12th at 7 p.m., and I hope you can come. My mother is cooking supper. She is a good cook. Yours truly, David Berenstein, also known as Ali Baba Berenstein. P.S. May 12th is my 9th birthday, but you don't have to bring a present. RSVP 2113579. Mr. Berenstein had explained that RSVP was a French abbreviation that meant please tell me if you're going to come. He also said that his son should give his age in the letter. Honesty is the best policy, Ali Baba, his father advised. Ali Baba was going to use the word processor in his father's office to print the letter. It took him a long time to type his letter on the machine. His father tried to help him, but he did not type very well either. When the letter was finally completed and the print button pushed, the machine produced 17 perfect copies, one for each David Berenstein. That evening, Ali Baba addressed the 17 envelopes so that the invitations could be mailed on Monday morning. His father supplied the stamps. By the end of the week, 2 David Berensteins had already called to accept. By the time Ali Baba was 8 years, 11 months, and 29 days old, 7 David Berensteins had accepted his invitation. 4 David Berensteins called to say they couldn't come. 6 David Berensteins did not answer at all. Ali Baba and his mother chose the menu for his birthday dinner. There would be pot roast, corn, Ali Baba's favorite vegetable, rolls, applesauce, and salad. They were also having kasha varniskas, a combination of buckwheat, groats, and noodles, which one of the guests had requested. The evening of the party finally arrived. Ali Baba had decided to wear a pair of slacks, a sports jacket, and real dress shoes. It was not at all the way he would have dressed for a bowling party. Ali Baba was surprised when the first guest arrived in a jogging suit and running shoes. "How do you do?" he said when Ali Baba opened the door. "I'm David Berenstein." "Of course," said the birthday boy. "Call me Ali Baba." Soon the living room was filled with David Berensteins. They ranged in age from exactly 9 years and 3 hours old to 76 years old. He was the David Berenstein who had asked for kasha varnishkas. There was a television director, a delicatessen owner, a mailman, an animal groomer, a dentist, a high school teacher, and a writer. They all lived in Manhattan now, but they had been born in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Michigan, Poland, Germany, and South Africa. None of them had ever met any of the others before. All of the guests enjoyed the dinner. "David, will you please pass those delicious rolls?" asked the mailman. "Certainly, David," said the animal groomer on his left. "David, would you please pass the pitcher of apple cider this way?" asked the dentist. "Here it is, David," said the television director. I have terrible remembering names," the 76-year-old David Berenstein told Ali Baba. "At this party, I can't possibly forget." He smiled at Ali Baba. "What did you say your nickname was?" "Ali Baba is not a nickname. I have chosen it to be my real name. There are too many David Berensteins. There were even more in the telephone book who couldn't come tonight. I was the only David Berenstein to finish the New York City Marathon," said David Berenstein, the dentist. He was the one wearing running shoes. "The poodles I clip don't care what my name is," said David Berenstein, the animal groomer. "It's not what you're called, but what you do that matters," said the 76-year-old David Berenstein. All of them agreed to that. "I once read that in some places children are given temporary names. They call them milk names. They can then choose whatever names they want when they get older," said David Berenstein, the high school teacher. "I'd still choose David Berenstein," said David Berenstein, the delicatessen owner. "Just because we all have the same name doesn't make us all the same." "You're right," agreed David Berenstein, the mailman. "Hear, hear," called out David Berenstein, the television director. He raised his glass of apple cider. A toast to the youngest David Berenstein in the room. Everyone turned to Ali Baba. He was about to say that he didn't want to be called David, but somehow he didn't mind his name so much now that he had met all these other David Berensteins. They were all different. There would never be another David Berenstein like himself. One of these days he might go back to calling himself David again, but not just now. Open your presents, called the David Berenstein the writer. Even though he had said that they didn't have to, several guests had brought gifts. So after singing happy birthday and cutting into the ice cream cake that was shaped like the Manhattan phone book, Ali Baba began to open the packages. There was a pocket calculator the size of a business card, just like one of his father had. There was a jigsaw puzzle that looked like a subway map of Manhattan, a model airplane kit, and a few books. One was a collection of Sherlock Holmes stories. I used to call myself Sherlock Berenstein, the high school teacher recalled. There was an atlas, and best of all, there was the Arabian Nights. Now I have my own copy, said Ali Baba. This was the best birthday he had ever had. Finally, it was time for the guests to leave. I never thought I would meet all the David Berensteins, said David Berenstein, the writer. You haven't, said Ali Baba. Besides the 17 David Berensteins in the telephone book, there are 683 other Berensteins listed between Aaron Berenstein and Zachary Berenstein. There must be members of their family who are named David. I bet there are thousands of David Berensteins that I haven't met yet. You're right, said the 76-year-old David Berenstein, patting Ali Baba on the back. Maybe I could invite them all next year, said Ali Baba. He was already 9 years and 6 hours old. You could put an advertisement in the newspaper, suggested the mailman. Ali Baba liked that idea. David Berenstein, the writer, said, I just might go home and write all about this. When did you get so interested in all the David Berensteins? It goes back a long time, said Ali Baba. It all started on the day that I was 8 years, 5 months, and 17 days old. And I believe that's where the story started, when he was 8 years, 5 months, and 17 days old. Well, that is our story. Yep, 8 years, 5 months, and 17 days old when he chose his new name. I hope you enjoyed the adventures of Ali Baba Berenstein. If you can take the AR on it, go ahead and take the AR on it. Go ahead and pick 2, answer them in complete sentences. Remember, we'll talk about these in a Zoom. And if you want, you can create a birthday card for Ali Baba. I hope you enjoyed it, boys and girls. Bye.